No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I picked against V5 in the Big Dick bot lane. I promise it will never happen again. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. In our first match, Vici Gaming is taking on the Big Dick bot lane. V5 is up 6,000 gold and is skulking around in the mid lane, waiting for their time to pounce on Vici. PP God's blood is pumping, and he charges toward the enemy backline. Sam D and Wei Wei are looking to hang dong on Hong. Pew Pew snipes 3 with his ultimate, and PP God follows up with an ult of his own. Sam D and Wei Wei leap into action as Mole enters like the hero he is. Come here, little Iboy. We want to lay something on ya, as Leon looks on helplessly. Hong dies first, and Graves is taken out by Iboy, who isn't going down without a fight. But after a great cosmic binding by the Cosmic Emperor PP God, V5 aces Vici in their base and finishes off Game 1. In Game 2, V5 is up bigger than Sam D and PP God's DMs from thirsty League fans. Sam D is getting locked down in the backline, and Mole is low. Mole is the first one to die, but Leon and Hong are vaporized when Firen Malaser shows up to the fight. The Zika virus isn't deadly after all, and V5 is able to easily close out the match 2-0. V5 sweep means they're still in second place in the LPL. In our next match, eStar is taking on Royal Never Give Up, who has never given up. eStar has Baron and is pushing to end the game, but Xiaolong Bao is looking for a flank. The inhibitor falls, but eStar is overextended. They look on to Betty. And Betty almost falls, but Aphelios has been alive for 200 years and must be a vampire, life-stealing his way back into the fight. Graves dies. And RNG waves Shao bye-bye to eStar in Game 1. In Game 2, eStar is a big, but Aphelios is caught out. Shall see you later, wink. But girls just wanna have fun. Uses his equalizer, dropping it on all of RNG, while the Monkey King spins to win. eStar successfully turns the fight and aces RNG, taking Game 2. We're headed to a Game 3. In Game 3, we're on Dragon Soul, but RNG denies the dragon before looking to start a team fight. Xiaoxi is the first one to be taken out, but Betty is low once again, getting spun on in the backline, but he's able to survive once again through life-stealing. RNG has taken out 3 and won the fight. They're looking to end, but Quirky is chilling out, stopping the back of Ezreal several times. Come, fight me! Shao, who do you think you are, Wink? This should be easy for the best mid laner in the LPL, right? Right? Come on, Ez. Nope. Wait, oh, I missed. Oh, he's pretty strong, but he's not strong enough. You can never fight me. No one can face me. Shao Hu wins the duel as Royal Never Give Up picks up a few more kills and takes the Nexus. GG, RNG! What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items. Yesterday, this morning, I guess, I went 1 for 1. I bet against I didn't bet against V5. I picked against V5, and I suffered the consequences. You can't just go around picking against the BDB. You're gonna get slapped around if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, in my Discord, I literally said, I want V5 to win, but I think that Vici will win. So I was wrong. It's okay. For my last 14 picks, I'm 13 out of 14. Not horrible. Not horrible. So that's really it for last night. The DRAFTKINGS scoring was pretty interesting last night. eStar scored a lot of points. But let's look at tomorrow. So tomorrow we have JDG minus 2,500. That's a 96% favorite over DMO. Nobody's going to pick Dominus. It's tough to think of a way that Dominus gets enough points to be a factor in DraftKings tomorrow. That's basically it. I expect JDG to be extremely highly owned, and in order to make JDG lineups that are unique, you're going to have to get pretty tricky, pretty clever. The second match is Invictus Gaming against LGD. Invictus Gaming is minus 185 against LGD. This one I'm pretty conflicted about. This one we're going to have to do a deep dive on because, I like both teams. It's just another game where I like both teams, and I have, the narratives that can justify playing either team, and I know that the public doesn't like Invictus Gaming, and people want to play JDG. So people wanting to play JDG is going to limit Invictus Gaming's ownership. And then I think people like LGD in general. They're 3-1. They only lost against Top Esports. I think that LGD is going to have a good split. LGD and Sunning are probably the two teams that I'm the highest on in terms of differential from where the public views them and where I view them. So, yeah, I think in terms of ownership, it'll be JDG, LGD, IG, DMO. And actually, I'm just remembering that I said in my video yesterday that I was going to check out the ownership from yesterday just to see if I was on target. I had basically all Vici last night, which sucks. Sam D went off, so I was destined to lose on that one. Alright, so last night first place was Betty as the captain, and then 4 players from V5 and 2 players from eStar. That's wild. That's a very interesting lineup. You're not going to see that every day, where the one-off is the... You're just not going to see that very often. Pretty crazy. But hey, that's why you make the lineup, I guess, right? So let's take a look at this. RNG was the highest owned. Alright, so this is what I said yesterday in Discord. I said, in regards to my picks for tomorrow, I want V5 to win tomorrow morning, but I think Leon is an upgrade in the jungle for Vici, and I think Vici gets it done. V5 has started the season great, and if I get a pick wrong, because the big dick bot lane dicks down iBoy, then I win anyways. I think RNG is just a better team than eStar, so it's tough to bet against them or pick against them here. For DraftKings, I think RNG, V5, Vici, eStar for ownership. I'll go over it tomorrow in the video, and that's what I'm doing right now. So RNG's first. So we go RNG. This is pretty surprising to me. I'm shocked that eStar was 40 or Wink was 40% and higher than Sam D. So V5, RNG, Vici, eStar, V5, Vici, eStar, RNG, eStar. This is pretty surprising considering the ownerships that we've been getting recently. This is a lot more close than we've typically gotten. Vici, eStar. Huh. So RNG was number 1, Vici was number 2. Man, if I knew that, I would have taken V5. And eStar, how is eStar that highly owned? That's crazy to me. What? Why didn't that work? Oh, whoops. 90.04. So we had 108 from Betty, 111 from Sam D. We had 90 from Wink, and we had 40 from iBoy. And like we saw before, 280 carries was the way to go as per usual. It's almost always 80 carry or support, or 80 carry or mid lane. So that is surprising. I think that just shows us how important it is to get the first team for ownership correct, because that's going to eat up about 40%, between 40 to 60% depending on the team and depending on how many lineups are possible. So tomorrow with Top Esports, I think, let's go here. So we have JDG, IG, LGD, DMO, and that's basically what we expect. I think that in terms of ownership, it's going to go JDG, LGD, IG, DMO, because it'll be much simpler to get lineups that you're used to seeing by stacking JDG as your favorite, as your primary stack. So let's go into lane by lane. Oh. Alright, so first up we have the Shy against Longshi in the top lane. Longshi has played the last 7 games. He's played Ornn, Hecarim, Wukong, and Mordekaiser. And that's it. So Ornn is the kind of champion that will be pretty annoying for the Shy, because the Shy likes to play carry top laners. So in this season, we've seen him on Aatrox, which is a carry top laner, Jace, which is a carry top laner, Renekton, carry top laner, Quinn, carry top laner, and Kayle, carry top laner. I think LGD might be in a tough drafting spot tonight, because if they manage to get Longshi on Ornn, which is one of his preferred champions, Invictus Gaming has a lot of options to try and beat it in lane. And the Shy dies a lot. Everybody knows that. I think if you get some exposure to Invictus Gaming through the Shy, it'll be an interesting one to see how it turns out, because Zoom is another popular top laner on this slate, and unless you use a top as a captain, you're not going to be able to get those 2 options, and those are the 2 best options for top lane tonight. Longshi is interesting. Like, you would need LGD to basically win 2-0. Longshi gets a bunch of kills and assists and does better than Zoom. But JDG will most likely go 2-0 tonight, so you really want that game not played bonus as many times as possible. Yeah, it's an expensive team slot. Yeah, so that's it for the top lane. I expect LGD to play something like Ornn, and I expect Invictus Gaming to counter it with a carry top laner. This means that LGD may have some other kind of idea about how to deal with the Shy, but it could just mean even more volatility in the top lane. So I'd be very careful with that one. In the jungle, we have Ning against Peanut. I think Peanut is a better jungler than Ning. The interesting thing is that Ning is looking pretty good in their matches now. He was pretty rusty in mid-season cup, I guess, because the entire team looked like garbage. And I placed a decent amount of the blame on Ning because in order for you to compete on a competitive level, your communication has to be great. You have to be able to anticipate what the enemy team is going to do. You have to be good at playing from behind. And Invictus Gaming really wasn't doing any of those things in their third place match, the Mid-Season Cup, or in their first match against World Elite. But they've been on a win streak recently. They're looking like the team from last split who finished first place overall. It's not that surprising that they're very good. I think the public sentiment is still pretty negative, and everybody's waiting for them to kind of mess up again. So I expect everyone to be on LGD, which kind of stinks. I think like the spot itself is kind of going to push people towards LGD, so there's not nearly as much value as I would want on LGD. But Peanut has a better champion pool for this meta still, so I would expect Invictus Gaming to ban Graves, maybe throw 2 or 3 bans at Peanut, and then I hope that LGD tries to ban out Ning, get rid of the Lee Sin, make him play something like Trundle or Set. I think that might be a good way to go, because if they play Set and you're already anticipating them trying to do a counter pick top lane, you can just go like a carry versus carry matchup. That might be a little too risky, but it's an option. In the mid lane, we have Rookie against Xie. Rookie has been playing very well. I'm a huge Rookie fan. Xie is a good mid laner, but he's not as good as Rookie. In the bot lane, we have Puff and Southwind against Kramer and Mark. Kramer and Mark have been okay as well, but they're really not the focal point of this team. Another interesting idea for LGD would be to get rid of all of the overpowered AD carries and then look to play something like Senna for themselves. Kramer's proven that he's a very good Senna player, and it would provide support for Xie and Peanut and potentially Longshi if he's playing a carry against the Shy. So that could be a good choice. Because if it's like carry versus carry, if it's Aphelios versus Ezreal or something like that, I'd be afraid. Because Puff has been getting Aphelios a bunch of games and just destroying people. Yeah, their last 5 games. And then 6 out of 7, they've gotten Aphelios. It's really... I hate the whole drafting meta, quote-unquote meta right now. Because... this is the exact kind of thing where it proves that people care more about what's popular than what's actually good. We see the same picks recycled over and over again, regardless of blue side, red side, regardless of the different things that are happening in the draft. Teams are more concerned with picking a champion that is in the quote-unquote meta player pool or champion pool, instead of thinking like what is going to counter the enemy team. The only times that we really see counters is when it's something like they picked Ornn, we're going to pick Kayle and try to outscale them. But even that is like a very nearsighted and not really great way to approach the game, because there have been a bunch of games worldwide where you pick Kayle into Ornn, Ornn's team gets ahead of you early, and you can't even get to level 16. So if you're playing against a team that's better than you in the early and mid game, and you pick Kayle or you pick Kassadin or something like this, you're just asking to get beat in the early game, and a good team like Invictus Gaming should be able to do that more often than not. And then in regards to mid lane, I think the Twisted Fate fascination from all these teams is pretty ridiculous. The only time that I really think Twisted Fate makes a lot of sense is when the other team isn't picking a lot of tanks. Yesterday we saw Golden Guardians, I think, pick Twisted Fate into Cloud9 when they already had like 2.5 tanks and ended up having 4 tanks plus an Aphelios. Like, you just can't do that. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's basically it. That's enough of a rant for today. Like I said, I think JDG will be the highest owned. In order to get unique lineups, you're going to have to probably use them as a secondary stack. And then also do some 4-2-1s, 3-3-1s, 3-2-2s maybe, even something like that. So it'll probably be a fun night to make rosters because you really don't need to get much exposure to Dominus at all. Like, I'm not gonna bet on Dominus at all. If that ends up beating me, then, you know, I'll just live with it. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have one-liners for Esportscenter, make sure to leave me a comment. Check me out Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Maybe I'll do some streaming today. I have some other content I want to put out in this week about like actual League of Legends. Maybe do analysis on one of the games from this weekend and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.